2, 1. You good, Whitey? It's your man Eddie Kane. I'm in here with new artist Ben Lewis on the new EK show. Welcome to the EK show, Ben. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
I have to say, I got a chance to research you some. I noticed that you are a new artist,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're making some waves. Who is Ben Lewis, man?
Oh man, Ben Lewis just a dude from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Clinton Hills, Best Style.
Okay.
I just love music. I've been writing since I was 13 years old. I've been listening to music since I was 7. I fell in love with R&B music, so music just been in my bones. And when I turned 21, I was just like, I'm gonna pursue this. I'm gonna pursue this dream instead of doing the regular thing, going to college. Doing something I didn't want to do. So then I started pursuing this, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. What is the current hip hop state in New York? Cause like I'm noticing the boom bap is making a comeback.
It's different. It's not like how it used to be, where it was samples and boom bap. You got a lot of boom bap, but then you got dudes like Jay Critch. He's from Clinton Hills as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
He got a whole different sound. You got people out of the Bronx like Cardi, A Boogie. You got Young and May that comes with different flavors every
Right.
time she drop. So it's like a gumbo kind of a little bit. It's so different than before, where it was just that one Jim Jones that come out. It's just that
Right.
one sound.
And I noticed that New York is making a comeback with the artists too. A Boogie had one of the #1 records, if I'm to understand. His album when it came out was #1, and it wasn't because of downloads; it was because of streams.
Yeah, streaming is a whole new wave. I don't even think he made like a whole lot of even like copies of this.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was that the record didn't sell a lot of copies. However, it killed the whole game with the streaming.
Yeah, it
So
went crazy.
we all know it takes like 1,000,000 streams to make 6,000.
That's right.
How do you feel about the new streaming network? Like, does it give independent artists like yourself fair playing?
It get it some I would say it's both sides.
Okay.
So I think it's still a little tweaking that has to be done.
Okay.
Because I feel like it shouldn't have to be that much to make that much money. I still think it should be a little tweaking done. But then there's also some guys that's not mainstream, but they really eating off streams. They making like millions of dollars off streams,
Right.
and they not mainstream. They not on the radio. So I think it's a give and take on that side.
What are your aspirations when it comes to being an artist, and what makes you unique from most artists?
In my music, I'm gonna always give you the real. I'm not the gang. I'm not the gang dude. I'm not the selling
So is
drugs.
that what New York has come to? Like it's all about the gang violence and
Nah, I feel like that's what. I don't think it's just New York. I just think that's what
the
music,
culture,
yeah, the
culture of
promote.
hip hop is gone to.
Everybody wants to be the hood dude. Everybody just can't be the hood dude. Somebody got to be the nerd. Somebody got to be the dude just chilling in the crib.
I like your way of thinking because if a lot of more cats thought like that, it'd be more business and less bull.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you look at the business model, the first thing an artist does is go get a gold chain.
Yeah.
So you spend 250 on a gold chain. That same chain, with a mindset like yours, I can see you opening something up in your borough.
Word, yeah. Once we get this music thing off the ground, I'm all about. I got a whole bunch of business ideas. I want to open up my own club. I want to open up my own barbershop. My mom is a nanny, so I want to open up a daycare for her. Like, it's not just it's music. I love music, but it's also making something for the my generation
Definitely.
behind me, my family behind me. After that.
Definitely.
My kids can have. They
What
don't
does
have to go
music
to work.
mean to you, though?
Oh man, music means everything to me, man. Music done got me through a lot of times. It's times where I couldn't necessarily go to my parents to talk about things, but it was times, albums and songs like J. Cole. His albums got me through a lot. Kanye, his albums got me through a lot. MGK. There's a lot of times where I couldn't really go to my parents for that God, but I could turn to music,
Right.
and music can help shape me into who I am.
What do you think? Who's on top, or who's in your playlist right now? Who do you consider? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. everybody? It's your man Eddie Kane. I'm in here with new artist Ben Lewis on the new EK show. Welcome to the EK show, Ben. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
I have to say, I got a chance to research you some. I noticed that you are a new artist,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're making some waves. Who is Ben Lewis, man?
Oh man, Ben Lewis just a dude from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Clinton Hills, Best Style.
Okay.
I just love music. I've been writing since I was 13 years old. I've been listening to music since I was 7. I fell in love with R&B music. So, music just been in my bones. And when I turned 21, I was just like, I'm gonna pursue this. I'm gonna pursue this dream instead of doing the regular thing, going to college. Doing something I didn't want to do. So then I started pursuing this, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. What is the current hip hop state in New York? Cause like I'm noticing the boom bap is making a comeback.
It's different. It's not like how it used to be, where it was samples and boom bap. You got a lot of boom bap, but then you got dudes like Jay Critch. He's from Clinton Hills as well.
Okay.
He got a whole different sound. You got people out of the Bronx like Cardi, A Boogie. You got Young and May that comes with different flavors every
Right.
time she drop. So it's like a gumbo kind of a little bit. It's so different than before, where it was just that one Jim Jones that come out. It's just that
Right.
one sound.
And I noticed that New York is making a comeback with the artists too. A Boogie had one of the #1 records, if I'm to understand. His album when it came out was #1, and it wasn't because of downloads; it was because of streams.
Yeah, streaming is a whole new wave. I don't even think he made like a whole lot of even like copies of this.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was that the record didn't sell a lot of copies. However, it killed the whole game with the streaming. So
crazy.
we all know it takes like 1,000,000 streams to make 6,000. How do you feel about the new streaming network? Like, does it give independent artists like yourself fair playing?
It get it some I would say it's both sides.
Okay.
So I think it's still a little tweaking that has to be done.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like it shouldn't have to be that much to make that much money. I still think it should be a little tweaking done. But then there's also some guys that's not mainstream, but they really eating off streams. They making like millions of dollars off streams.
Right.
And they not mainstream. They not on the radio. So I think it's a give and take on that side.
What are your aspirations when it comes to being an artist, and what makes you unique from most artists?
In my music, I'm gonna always give you the real. I'm not the gang. I'm not the gang dude. I'm not the selling.
So
drugs.
is that what New York has come to? Like it's all about the gang violence and
Nah, I feel like that's what. I don't think it's just New York. I just think that's what
the
music,
culture?
Yeah,
the culture of
promote.
hip hop is gone to.
Everybody wants to be the hood dude. Everybody just can't be the hood dude. Somebody got to be the nerd. Somebody got to be the dude just chilling in the crib.
I like your way of thinking, because if a lot of more cats thought like that, it'd be more business and less bull.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the business model, the first thing an artist does is go get a gold chain.
Yeah.
So you spend $250 on a gold chain. That same chain, with a mindset like yours, I can see you opening something up in your borough.
Word, yeah. Once we get this music thing off the ground, I'm all about. I got a whole bunch of business ideas. I want to open up my own club. I want to open up my own barbershop. My mom is a nanny, so I want to open up a daycare for her. Like, it's music. I love music, but it's also making something for my generation
Definitely.
behind me, my family behind me.
Definitely.
My kids can have.
What does music mean to you, though?
Oh man, music means everything to me, man. Music done got me through a lot of times. It's times where I couldn't necessarily go to my parents to talk about things, but it was times, albums and songs like J. Cole. His albums got me through a lot. Kanye, his albums got me through a lot. MGK. There's a lot of times where I couldn't really go to my parents for that God, but I could turn to music,
Right.
and music can help shape me into who I am.
What do you think? Who's on top, or who's in your playlist right now? Who do you consider to be the hot?
Man.
Because being from New York, I hear from different artists. From somebody from Atlanta, they might say, "Oh, well, yeah, you know the Migos." But then I hear from artists from New York, they be like, "Yo, A Boogie." So who's in your top 5 playlist right now?
My top 5 right now. Oh man, I'm always listening to new things. Like right now, a lot of people don't listen to Eric Bellinger, but he's very underrated.
Dope guy.
Very, very underrated.
Dope. Very underrated.
Super great music writer.
Exactly.
I've been bumping his album. Ari Lennox just dropped the album. I've been listening to that heavy. Who else I've been listening to? A lot of J. Cole. I'm waiting for J. Cole to drop.
Is J. Cole like one of your favorites?
That's really my favorite. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Him,
What
Wayne.
inspires you when it comes to J. Cole?
Oh man, it's his life is like so like similar to mine, you know.
Well, he went to school in New
yeah,
York.
yeah, yeah. It's we have so many similarities, and it's just things he talk about is some of the things I've been through. So I just connect. Like the other day, I was playing Forest Hill Drive,
Right.
and I was just like, "Yo, this is my life." Like, this is really my life. You feel me?
Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you could do features with three main artists, who would be those three main artists?
Well, the first two gotta be either Wayne or Ludacris.
Okay. Oh, did you just go back on me? How old are you?
I'm 25.
So you're young, but you want to do Ludacris?
Of course.
He's not even hot right now.
It don't matter. It's gonna be hot.
Okay, you're talking about Wayne. Wayne is just now getting back hot.
But he still got the ability to drop something.
Let's talk about that. Okay.
Anytime.
Wayne took a beat that was already, he refurbished the beat.
Yeah. He's done that a lot.
Okay. But he made it a hit.
Yeah.
What do you think it takes for that to occur? Is it just having a core fan base? Or is it that he's just that good? Because honestly, I didn't feel the record, but the world loved it, so I was happy to see Wayne back.
I know in New York, I know when that dropped, it was crazy because I think that was Swiss's record.
Swiss's record. Shout out Swiss
so
Beats, man.
Just that New York vibe. I know when I go out in New York and I hear that record and I see people around that record, people just start getting crazy. But I think just that New York vibe, number one, just people, everybody want to be in New York. Everybody want to come see it. Everybody want to know
New
what
York
it
is the big city of dreams.
Man, I'm telling you, man, the Big Apple. So when they come, they hear that, they like, oh, they like that bounce. But I think with Wayne is just Wayne had proved himself already. He was in control for so long, on top for so long. No ceilings. Sorry for the wait. Dedication.
You are a true Wayne. You are a hip hop fan because you know every album you calling off. So let me ask you this: what does it take for Wayne to get back to where he left off? Because as you know, the Cash Money situation kind of contaminated his career for a while. He unfortunately enough. Well, fortunately enough, was able to still keep relationships with people like Nicki Minaj and Drake. Will there be a new resurgence in your eye? Because you're a hip hop, you're a hip hop, you know you're hip hop. Do you think it'll be a resurgence of Young Money? Because there's no more Cash Money; it's all Young Money.
A resurgence of Young Money? I don't know if it'll be a resurgence.
Because I don't think that Drake and Nicki get along anymore.
Yeah, they just, I don't. That whole situation is crazy, and they just in. Drake is in a whole nother like strat. Even when it comes to Wayne, like at this point, I probably put Drake is probably above Wayne. Drake could just put anything out and they'll go crazy for it.
Drake is like 5-6 years, still on top of his game.
That's
so
crazy.
he's in your. So we never answered. So who's in your top 5?
My top 5 athletes. Oh man, somebody asked me this before. I was like, cause I'm from Brooklyn, I feel like I gotta put.
You got a lot of pressure on you right now, Brooklyn.
I gotta put Jay-Z and I gotta put Biggie.
Oh, see, now that's what I'm talking about. You're calling over the culture because of you're just a true New Yorker. You ain't really listening to Jay. You ain't really.
No. I got some Biggie. I got a little bit of
Big
Biggie
is
on my
always
phone.
gonna be my favorite, but I don't think this generation respects that type of music.
Yeah, nah. I think it's a little bit of a gap because I was born in '94.
Okay.
So my pops would play the old, like even when it comes to like classic
old
R&B.
shit. He say 94. Damn, I was out of school 4 years. Shit, I done done the college bit. If you look at it, hell, don't you tell nobody else. I'll be stopped. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But even when it comes to the classics, my pops would always play the classics. So that's what I kind of grew up on. So when I hear those,
you got bars.
Yeah.
He at least you're honest. Do you got bars?
I got some in the
Okay.
I keep a 16 on me. I ain't gonna lie to you. But even this morning, I was listening to Put That Woman First.
That's a great record.
Amazing.
How many people listens to those type of records these days?
I only know a couple of my friends that like when we in the club and we hear what we heard an old Usher record, and then we heard a Genuine record. We heard Pony, and we was like, oh,
that's like, hey, but those are the grip. I was talking to someone last night about R&B, and I know you're a hip hop artist, but it seems that you have an infatuation with just grit
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
I was talking about the difference in R&B music of today
yeah.
versus yesterday. Like you put that woman first.
First.
Now is fuck you, bitch, kill you. And I'm going like, damn, what the fuck just happened? What happened? Stab her in the neck, stab her in the neck. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
I think R&B kind of got lost in translation when they started fusing it with hip hop a little bit.
Say
So
it, you
it
ain't
kind
never
of
lied. I still want to know why is the young and even young women they don't like the songs that talk about I love you. They call that weak
yeah.
music.
I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I
I
had the
don't
answers for you.
understand. I gotta talk to G about that off camera because that's something that I just is, bothers me. Like I like to talk with people like yourself that has great knowledge of music, and so I just don't understand the culture of music today. Even though I'm a big fan of independent artists,
Yeah,
because artists like yourself are what makes the nucleus of what's to come for tomorrow. So I love working with guys like yourself. Talking about your single, what went into writing that single?
All right. Well, get amped. Oh man, that was amazing because we linked up with Gazelle for that. Shout out Gazelle for that.
He the man.
My man, official Allen, 16 years old. He made that beat.
Okay.
He was in his in his house, like where he lived,
Right.
cooking that beat up. And when I heard it, it was a club. It felt like a club record. It felt like a bounce, something you could get behind. You could just have a good time to. So I just put my truth in it. The first verse when you hear it is it's 12 o'clock and I'm litty. The party just filling up. Me and the bros in the Uber, you know that we pulling up.
Wow.
That's a fact. Around 12 o'clock, that's when the party start. That's when everybody in the club, everybody trying to have a good time. And that's
Right.
when I'm hitting up my friends like, yo, you on the way? You pulling up? I'm about to hop in the Uber right now. I'm pulling up. So that song was just really what I go through, my experience when I step into the club. I see a girl that's bad. She wilding, she twerking or whatever, and I'm trying to see what's up for the night for that. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
You try to see what's up, man. Listen, I love you guys, but y'all got a whole nother situation to deal with when you go in these clubs now because,
man.
like, it's not even safe anymore
Yeah.
as far as meeting a woman. Everybody, I mean, it seems like I hear so many disaster stories.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's times where I'm in a club and I don't even want to like dance up on her because I don't even know if she want that type of
Well,
attention.
okay,
Like
so
that.
when we grew up, let me tell him my damn age again. When we grew up, we had what's called blue light and red light in the basement, okay? And we would just pull up on a sister. If she didn't feel like she might put her hand up, and you just kept on moving.
Yeah. You just
Y'all
kept
ready
on.
to punch your sister in the face?
Nah.
You
Nah, me.
beast!
Nah,
I'm
nah,
like,
me.
damn, you don't want to dance with me? Okay. Y'all kill you, bitch.
Yeah, I be trying to tell dudes like, bro, you don't gotta like you. It don't
So
gotta
you
be
be
that
trying
serious.
to educate your brother.
Yeah, it don't
Why
gotta
do
be
they
that
get so
serious.
mad?
I don't know, cause
Is it the music?
I don't know, man. Even I could give you a story. Me and my homegirl, the club just let out, and this dude was drunk, but he trying to get with a shorty, and he grabbed my homegirl arm. I'm like, yo, bro, don't do that. He like, nah, I'm taking her home. No, nah, don't do that. Nah, she don't even like. You ain't even introduce yourself. You just grabbed her.
Wow. That's
like,
crazy.
how's she supposed to like you after that?
Wow. Man, I think the aggression with these young people, man, is something different. If you hear the news every day, what is it going to take for us to unify as a people, man?
I that's a good question, man. I don't have the answer to that question, but it's just I don't. We just gotta look at ourselves. I think that's the best thing. Whenever you want to reflect or make a change, you gotta look at yourself. Biggie said, before we change the world, we must change ourselves first.
Correct.
So I think we gotta really look at ourselves and say, yo, what's wrong? What's going on with us first?
Right.
Before we go out there and change the world, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Man, it has been crazy talking to you. You got a couple of more dates coming up where you're going to be. Where can the people find you with your good music at?
I'm on SoundCloud. I'm on Instagram at Ben Lewis, BEENLEWIS _ as B2ESNLEWIS _
Okay, one last question. We talked about the gang thing earlier. Before I let you get rock the stage, is it hard for you being a young man to stay out of the gang life because you're living in an area that is predominantly blood, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So how do you stay out of that?
Honestly, my
Sports?
mom,
Oh, your
my
shout out
mom,
Mom Dukes, man.
uh, I was at one point going down that road, and I would see the pain it would be on her face, and I was just like, I can't put her through that. I know a lot of dudes be like, oh, I ain't got no choice. I feel like you got a choice, because it was times where I ain't have no choice, and I still chose not to do it. So just knowing the pain that I would have to see on her face going to jail or being locked up or things like that made me not want to be in that. Like I got friends in that life, and
Right.
I see what it does to them, their families, they children, and I just never wanted parts of that.
Hey, admirable, man. My man Ben Lewis, man. First time ever on the EK show right here in the Nekedie Network. It's going down like 4 flat tires. When I come
like that
back,
one.
we get ready. When I come back, my man Ben Lewis is going to hit the stage and he's going to rock like none other.
Yes,
Only
yes.
on the Nekedie TV, the new wave, and everything media, man. It's the big homie Eddie K. I'm getting ready to go with my logo. When I come back, put my screensaver up, Whitey. When I come back, it's all on. Ben Lewis hits the stage right here in the Nekedie TV. Let's rock.
So, yo, yo. Yeah, I'm pulling up. I'm on the way right now. I just called the Uber. We on the way right now. Yeah, we at that club. You remember what happened last time we was at that club? It's 12 o'clock and I'm litty. The party just filling up. Me and the bros in the Uber. You know that we pulling up. I step up in the VIP, then I hear them applaud her. Yeah, they playing a song. Shorty turn the corner. She know how to throw that. Big, you know that. She look back at the boy like Benny finna scoop that. But you already knew that. Her friends they wanna Kodak. I hype up like throw that. I did he bop like Kodak. Juvenile get to playing. Watch how she acting up. Her friends they dancing up with her. Yeah, they wagging his phone. Yeah, they came here beast. Watch how they up like it's time now. I get to igging and yelling. Shorty gon' wild out. 2 minutes of bouncing, no need for timeouts. She look back while she shaking. Girl, let me find out. Shorty look like she nasty. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out. It's 12 o'clock and I'm litty. The party just filling up. Me and the bros in the Uber. You know that we pulling up. I step up in the VIP and I hear them applaud. Yeah, they playing a song. Shorty turn the corner. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her. Shorty is strangers, but she know just how I like it. I'm a plumber up with it. Yeah, I'm known for the piping. She get only one nighted. Yeah, her body enticing. Yeah, I'm pounding on like I'm known for the fight. More Henny shots and we litty. I strip her down to her Vickies. Tell your girls you can get me. Yeah, she follow the leader, cause where I go, she come with me. She play games like it's fun. She play lost like she done. I'm the one, mess with me, and you bound to come up. A track star, yeah, I'm really known to run and check up. She go hard for respect, won't let no dude disrespect her, cause she make bank off her checks. Yeah, she calm with the bragging, no need for her to just flex. Yeah, she classy, but still go bounce that dress. It's 12 o'clock and I'm litty, the party just filling up. Me and the bros in the Uber, you know that we pulling up. I step up in the VIP, and I hear them applaud. Yeah, they playing a song, shorty turn the corner. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped. We gon' get her amped, 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 amped,
my feelings. I'm gassed up, my head in the sky, the door to the ceiling. I'm cashed up, no running around. I lay in the house, I get it together, no coming around. You stay in the drought, I get it forever. I'm winning, never could lose. Keep it better to use. Know that I'm better than them. Down to the letter with them. Know that I'm ready to rule. Californication, grab my medication. My thoughts are elevating. Lean back, bad medication. Poke. Meditate. 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 Meditation. Meditate. Yeah, I'm off in the clouds. I feel like a bird. I know that you heard in hell in the earth. I'm calling it loud. Yeah. I'm feeling the bass. Was moving away, so still in the place, I'm still in the place, a beautiful thing to embrace, I'm in my zone, me and my nigga, we stone, a real nigga down in the bone, remember, pull up is hot in December, 3 house in the cut in the winter, I'm gone, I'm in my zone, me and my nigga, we stone, a real nigga down in the bone, remember, pull up is hot in December, 3 house in the cut in the winter, I'm gone. Get us stoned on, yeah.
Medication taking me higher. Medication taking me higher.
I'm all in my feelings. I'm gassed up, my head in the sky, the door to the ceiling.
My man. Hey, meditate. I had to meditate. Hey.
What's up, my brother?
Okay, so let me tell you. I know a little of your story. Let me tell you, I know a little of your story. I'm gonna make sure I got it correct.
Okay.
Last year, you did some incredible stuff with Def Jam.
Yes.
Had a crazy record.
Yes.
The record, in turn, did so well. Now you're with Sony Music.
No, I'm
You're
not
doing
with
distribution.
Distribution, but we shout out to whatever OK Entertainment. Shout out to Gold Coast Productions. I really wanted to get into a space where we were in more control.
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna make sure that's right. Say what? Okay, now we good. Now we good. I'm sorry. You know how it go in entertainment. We good?
It's all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So you got a distribution through Sony.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Oh man, grinding. Honestly, it took a long time. In the beginning, I started out. I was working over there with John Legend and them.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Early in my career, I got a record with them that's unreleased and everything like that. And I signed some bad paperwork, and that really it shot my plane out the sky. You know, you feel like you made it. You know what I'm saying? You feel like everything's moving forward, and then everything, boom. So when we were coming back this time, I was working with my manager. I was like, yo, I really want.
Shout out to your manager too.
Deja Lane. I really wanted to have control over everything.
And that's the way to be.
Yes.
In today's time, if you can control your career, that's the best thing in the world. A lot of people are looking for a label to sign to, but they don't understand what comes along with signing to that label.
Problems.
A lot of problems, especially if you now have recoupables.
Right.
Now, we're going to talk about this because before we do that, tell people who you are.
Oh, man, what's up, man? It's Dre Poe Life my whole life, from Westchester, Pennsylvania, hip-hop lyricist, man. I'm here to get busy, baby.
Hey, now let's talk about Dre Poe. And it's spelled P-O-W-E, but it's Poe.
Poe, yes.
Okay.
Poe is my mom's maiden name. Dre is my middle name.
So you picked up mom's maiden name and you took your name.
Absolutely.
What makes you that artist? Because from my understanding, you are the next wave. You are the come up.
I appreciate that. I think songwriting. Songwriting, authenticity, and just not seeking fame. Just seeking getting better. You know what I mean? Trying to put out the best product that I can put out, not worry about the trends and all that.
Let's talk about the trends because that's very important in today's time. If you don't have some type of wave, they don't respect you.
I agree.
So how do you stay relevant?
Honestly, I try to outwork everybody, and I work on my craft more than everybody I know. You understand what I'm saying? I write song after song. I got 3,500 songs recorded.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard. I put myself in a place like with basketball. Like the more jump shots you shoot, the better your jump shot gonna be.
Are you a lyricist? Are you a trap rapper? Are you a backpack rapper? What basically sums up who you are, Dre?
I think I'm a songwriter more than anything. I think that's my first thing. Fell in love with music at an early age. I wrote my first song when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? And then from there, from listening to the Delphonics, the OJ.
Now hold up. Now you cussing at me. Cause you talking about the Delphonics,
Yeah.
the stylistics.
Stay in my corner.
A lot of artists from today don't respect the artists of yesterday.
I ain't had no choice. Wasn't no rap going on in my dad's car. Nothing. Except for the Chronic album. Random. You know what I'm saying? That was the only album he had. Everything else was like the stylistics. I mean, we going down. But it gave me a good sense of how to write a record.
Wow. When you say it gave you a sense of writing a record, what all goes into your writing when you're producing a record?
The first thing I do is I listen to a beat and I ask myself how it makes me feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I get that vibe first. Once I get how it makes me feel, I figure out what I can say about that feeling. And then I just start to deconstruct from there, find a harmony, melody, and then just kind of freestyle it from there, hum it out.
What makes you unique as an artist?
I think the fact that, number one, I have my own record label called Young Urban American Music.
Salute to, and where can the people find the music from Young Urban?
From everything from Young Urban American Music Group you can find on yuaintl.com. And a lot of my music is on Spotify, Apple, pretty much every streaming platform.
Okay, so you're on. Now, how do you get the word out to the people? How did Sony recognize your greatness?
Shout out to agent Lawton Buhari. He's a big person in my life right now as far as just showing me the game, teaching me how to be an executive. He's the general manager of Warehouse Rock Nation.
Oh, salute to him.
Yeah, so he just gives me a lot of game. Like he just allows me to figure it out and just putting out song after song and learning the songwriting structure. He just believed in me. We moved it up like that through relationships.
Wow. Now, a lot of people don't understand. In business, the biggest way to collaborate is through business.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, artists burn those relationships.
Yeah, and the other thing I was saying not too long ago was like nobody wants to invest in themselves.
Nobody.
That's so weird.
Everybody wants, but that's
Instant
because
gratification.
we're in a time where everybody feels entitled.
Yes. It's astonishing.
People feel like you owe them. Not that they owe you to prove their worth, but more or less that you owe them to prove that you can help them. But I myself have tried to help artists, and not all times has it been a good situation because an artist can at any given time with nothing in the game can at any given time decide to pull out. I don't want to rap today.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating on the
I've
other
had
hand.
an artist do that to me, where he was going through some rough times, and so therefore he had to take a step back from his career. But he didn't think about the adverse effect it would have on me.
Right, and that's the wrong mindset anyway. If it's going bad, you got to turn it up more, bro.
Well, a lot of times that's because people don't know how to turn it up. They don't know how to make it happen.
That's true.
What do you do that's different?
I keep a solid team around me because, you know, as an artist, you're still a person.
Right.
So when I'm going through things and it's a tough time, I got to be able to pick up the phone and be like, yo, I need a pep talk. I need some motivation. You got to be real with yourself. Everybody out here moving with this ego. And like, I don't believe you, bro. You can't just always be this one way. So I tap into the other side. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
yo,
a
I'm not
smart
feeling
way
good
to
today.
be, though, bro, because you are 100% right. Ego plays a lot of part in what goes on in this business today. A lot of cats, they have this quote unquote ego that makes it hard for them to become manageable or likable to that state.
I mean, especially, I mean, it's the generation that's coming up right now. Is like you were saying before, instant gratification. It's a microwave
Definitely.
type of feel. And then like you brought up like Takashi's and them like that. Like it's just the things that they did to get the attention. I just cannot relate. I'm not doing none of that. No goofy shit. None.
Now, for a cat coming from a small town right outside of Philly from PA to garner the success you have with no backing, with no other than just good guidance, but no real one up, but total investment into yourself. What was that like?
One of the most stressful things that I've ever done, honestly. But I didn't want to start something and not finish it
Wow.
as well. I had 17 just Division One scholarship offers for basketball coming out of high school, and I dropped them all to do music.
Are you
That's
s-
real.
You
Like,
dropped 17 offers
all of them.
for Division One basketball
Yes.
because you believed in music that much.
Yes.
That has to be passion.
Yeah, it was passion, but they grinded me up for years. Mom, dad, cousins. They're like, nigga, what? You could be going over here, like, especially now.
Why not do both?
Because the way that my passion works, I can't really. I'm very like tunnel visioned on something. I need it to be the best that it can be. If I'm playing basketball as well, how could I be the best rap or songwriter? How could I possibly do that?
Well, don't you? Wouldn't it have been, in most people's eyes, wiser to get the check, then invest into what you're trying to do?
Yeah, it would have
That
been
would have been
wiser.
the easy way to.
It would have been. It would have certainly been easy. Like, perfect example. Now, as a high school player, you can just say, "Hey, I'm not going back to 12th grade.
Right.
I'm good enough to go overseas and get $100,000 for 72 games."
Wow.
If we'd have had something like that, I'd have probably jumped
Now,
ship.
it might have been a little
Yeah,
different.
it would have. But then they're talking about, you know, I'm coming out of being in the crib with my moms and all these barriers and all that. And now y'all want me to go to college, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. I was like, I don't love this anymore. I can't.
Wow.
I want to go to the studio.
I ain't mad at you. But even in the studio, you're in there for limitless hours.
Yeah, I used to. I was homeless. I would sleep. That's how I got up with John Legend. And I was sleeping outside the studio and just messing with people until they let me in.
So what was the relationship like with you and John Legend?
He was a superstar, bro. He wasn't on our type time like that. Like, you know what I mean? He very much was up here, and then you had all the little people running around and everything like that.
So what did he notice in you?
I think just from them having mostly R&B people over here, and as a rapper, being able to come in and fit that mold, it was songwriting. The way that we were able to put the records together, I think he saw something. It was dope.
What happened? What ultimately happened?
It wasn't even John. It was the producers that I came in through. We all had some really bad paperwork together, and that was my fault. I'll take that on the chin. You know, that's growing pains because as a businessman, I did that all wrong. I can't be mad at them if I signed it.
Right.
But the way I handled it, it was terrible. You know, I'm screaming, cussing. So it's like the whole thing, man. I'll keep it real with you. I didn't handle
Well, you
that
were
thing right
young.
at all. Yes.
You didn't know any better.
No.
If you could go back and do anything different now, what would you do?
Not sign the paperwork and just continue my working relationship until we found a like amicable ground on how we're gonna do this.
Makes a lot of sense. We just looked at your last video. I mean, your eldest video. What went into making that song? Meditation.
Meditate.
Meditate. I apologize.
I was just in the studio and I was vibing. Like, I mean, I know it's like cliche, but we were smoking, you know what I mean? And it was literally just a vibe. And I wanted to put some cool lyrics over a smooth beat. And then I called my homies up. I was like, yo, I don't got no budget for this video, but come out, let's have a good time. And we just captured that. I mean, it was real fun.
Okay. Did Did you do that in your hometown?
I didn't. I actually did it one town over in Chester.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your hometown reflection like? Like, when you think about home, what do you think of when it comes to music?
Honestly, nothing. We're gentrified now. I don't even think, like, most of the homies, everybody's done got kicked out. College took over everything. There's no music scene there from the hip hop side.
Wow.
Not at all.
So is that you have to go to Philly?
Absolutely. That's why I first got up and got out. Because, like, I can't do nothing here in Westchester. I got to go. First of all, Philadelphia had all the talent and the competition. So if I was even going to scratch the surface, I had to go out there and get busy lyrically.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Who did you bump into as on your journey?
Well, my first manager was Freeway's road manager.
Okay.
So I was running around with Rockefeller in that heyday.
Right.
So I got a lot of my, how to put stuff
Experience.
together. Yeah,
Right.
messing with them dudes.
Right. What would you say to an inspiring artist that hasn't quite peaked and got to where you are in your career? Because despite you still growing, you have surpassed so many. You had a record last year that did pretty well on the charts.
Did pretty good, man.
Did pretty
I was excited about that, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm hyped, you know what I'm saying?
When you
Oprah-
saw those numbers, what did it do to you?
It was like more like validation, especially not having no backing, no anything like that. We went smooth up there and we were like, listen, we have a play where, we think that we're pretty good. What's up? And it worked. It was like a lot of the times you get the door closed in your face so much, especially after the John Legend thing.
Right.
I ain't get a play for like 5 years. It
5
was
years?
terrible, yo. Oh
Is
my
it that
gosh.
you felt blackballed?
Not blackball, but when you spend a lot of time nurturing certain relationships,
Right.
I didn't have the other relationship. I thought I made it, bro. I was like, I ain't got to
So you were your own worst enemy.
Yes.
A lot of artists are not able to accept accountability. What made you accountable for your own career?
My team, the people around me that love me.
New management,
Yes.
Gazelle.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a funny story.
Tell
So when I
And
first...
turn that bottle around unless they gonna give us some
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Go ahead.
My best friend, I was sitting in the car with her. It was outside the wine and spirit store. I just got back from Florida. I was broke, no clothes, nothing. And she was like, yo, I think my sis might know some DJs in Atlanta. I said, call her now. She called her. She hopped on the phone. She said, let me hear something. I blew her head up. She was like, I'll be up
So
there.
your management came out of Atlanta.
Yeah, she's actually from right
York.
one town over from me.
From Pennsylvania.
But she was living in Atlanta.
Okay.
So she came up the next week. I was sleeping in the trap house, trapping. You know what I'm saying? And she came and she stayed. We both, like, I had no bed, no nothing. We sat on the floor. We talked all night. The next week, she flew me down.
Wow. Now that's a success story. If you ain't never heard a success story, that's a success
I mean, at your
story.
lowest, like, bro, I ain't have no nothing. Like, couldn't even get toothpaste, no nothing. Bro.
So
It was
has
crazy.
since being there, has she been your manager, being a female? I know it can be hard for a woman in the game because a lot of times, especially when they're a pretty woman, people take them for granted. But hence, she flew you down Atlanta. She's treated you like a brother, and she's nurtured you,
Absolutely.
clothed you, helped you get to the.
All that.
What is that like?
This success here feels a lot better because of so much work that she put in and she sacrificed for me, and like it's just like a team effort. She's the president of Young Urban American Music Group. She's the one that talks to all the label heads. She's the one that talks to everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't honestly be here if it wasn't for Deja.
Wow. Salute to her. What is it like? What's your day like?
I get up in the morning and I start writing.
Okay.
Every morning. I got my own studio that I travel with. It's actually in a car.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I set that thing up, knock some stuff out. I signed a deal in January with DJ Cheap Shot from Fort Minor.
Okay.
He has a songwriting company where they place songs for Marvel TV and films.
Right.
So,
Crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's where the bread's at.
Definitely.
So as an artist, I'm like, oh, I don't care how this goes. We're going to get the money regardless. Like, you know what I mean? And then I can just kind of love what I'm doing.
Definitely. I always tell artists and smart artists like yourself, there's more than one way to get to the bag. A lot of artists are how do you say, focused on the immediate. They're not looking at across the water, like you said, soundtracks
Right.
For major movies, placements in different store on store tracks. There's a lot of way for you to get money.
Jingles.
Jingles. But how do you? The one thing I need to ask you: how did you come to trust your team? Because I know one thing about business is hard. Is you have to have trust. So in order for you to do that, you must have a real solid team.
I'm be honest, like I probably could have been where I am now, probably like, right when I met her, but it was a process. Cause I was gone, I was in the street for real, bro. Like I didn't want to hear none of that. I had to come down to Atlanta, and I had to learn how to go out and talk to people again.
You had to
learn-
refocus.
Yeah,
How
all
did
the
you
way.
refocus though? What went off in your mind because you're young? What made you say, "Oh, I got to do this"? Because most young people are so rebellious, they're gonna do it their way.
I felt like I was getting old.
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 32 years old right now, and in music, I looked at it totally different because music, it was like, once you get to like 25, they're like, hey, you're getting there, brother. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I was
Right.
like, I can't even think about that.
Right.
I gotta continue. And then we had to find different ways to make our value show.
Right.
The songwriting, learning how to interview, learning like all the little things.
A lot of what's gonna get you over is that you're media trained, quite naturally. You
Appreciate
tell
you,
that you're
brother.
media trained. What do you think about artists like Kodak Black that had the opportunity to just drop the ball? And I don't want you to say if you feel like that might compromise your then we'll pass.
No,
it.
I don't want to pass anything.
But my question to you is, Kodak Black has the world in front of him, and he is now put himself so far in harm's way with the feds, his career, his label. Because once you start accumulating charges, the general manager of the big boy of the label starts looking at this because now you become a liability to the label. What would you say to Kodak Black right now?
Honest, I don't think he.
From a guy that's not made it and almost there,
Yeah.
and he has the world. What would you tell him?
I don't know if I would have it. I don't even know if I would want to sit down and speak to Kodak at this current stage because it doesn't seem like the
It
way that he's
resonates.
thinking is working. Like, you know what I mean? I think J. Cole said it. He said, sat down with the young nigga Kodak. He reminded me of your niggas from Vales. No faking, just honest. Like, you know what I mean? But he need more guidance. So he is who he is. You can take that. But he shot. He shot out. You can't really do nothing with that sometimes. Because you can't tell. I couldn't tell him that. Like, he's already on. He's going to be like, bro, if you don't get out of here, like, and I understand it.
If you had to sign to an artist. Look at that look. If you had to sign to artists, because a lot of these artists today, they don't know no better.
I never understood how someone could sign to an artist and think that they would be bigger than that artist.
I try to explain that. If you signed to a working artist, unless you have it in writing that you have your own situation, there's no way that a signed artist, I don't care who it is, T.I. tried it, Gucci's tried it, all these artists have tried it. There's no way, unless you have a team that takes on your career, my career, but we're going to want the best over here with me because I'm the breadwinner. So what do you get? Artists don't get that though.
Yeah, I think that's why like teams like Young Money and everything like that, they always fall apart. Always Maybach Music, Rockefeller. I mean, it proof is in the pudding. It just doesn't work like that. I think the best labels that work have a head at the label that isn't an artist. It's usually like an executive producer, somebody that's very well versed on what's going on in the hip hop community and business.
Tell the people what you want them to know about you right now.
Man, I got a new record we're putting out on Friday through Sony, whatever okay. It's called Too Late, and I'm super excited about it, man. We're gonna push it, crank it up, see what happens, man.
Well, today we get ready to play your latest video, and then we're gonna segue into your newest record, Too Late. Coming out on Sony Records this Friday. Introduce the video.
Man, this is Tsunami Wave, produced by my brother, my boy, Cal Bean, Genius Art. We shot this video in the middle of the hood, West Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? It's a little dangerous.
Let's get into it right now. Only on Nekedie TV, the new EK show. You see who it is. It's going down like 4 flat tires right here, baby.
Yeah.
I've been this way since I was a baby. I'm getting this legacy, nobody ever could play me. A surfboard, I tsunami with it and I'm waving. Just picture me floating on speedboat when in Mercedes. More than a leader, not holding a heater, but I am protecting myself as a fact. I'm all on my lane like a grocery store. When I open the door and I get me a pack. I'm humble, but I like to rumble when I throw a hook in your cavity. You're on the earth, the king of the jungle, a lion. I'm higher than Zion, like gravity don't even work. I'm smarter than niggas, like I'm never following nobody. I can just get it myself. I got me some money to make, so I close up the Henny and put the cup back on the shelf. My shit is relatable, you niggas highly debatable, lying in all your raps. I see a void in the game. I am a cinder block filling in all the gaps. I make it boil and flame, running the field, looking like oil again. Over the border again, carry on luggage just with me aboard the plane. Really it's about to get ugly like I was at Regal with Spiegel from Lord of the Rings. My bro out of order, he ordering things. The Lord of recording, I'm sort of the king. A quarter is gone, I'm meditating on the day that my daughter is born. 90 degrees in November, like that is the temperature I am in Florida for. Grew up in cold, back in the 90s when I would just throw me an article on. Thunder and lightning, I'm part of the storm. Just look at my follow through part in the phone, I'm starting to bomb. I've been this way since I was a baby. I'm getting this legacy, nobody ever could play me. A surfboard, a tsunami with it and I'm waving. Yeah. Just picture me floating on speedboat when in Mercedes. I catch me a flight out to Philly, was down in Miami. A little Havana was lit for Lord, they'll have me some figure licking. Collard greens and chicken, nigga fat as a bitch. Shot town and I'ma slide down to the South Loop when I land in O'Hare. Shorty with me, got a bubble on her, I'm in trouble on her and I don't even care. My life, I gotta live it the best and I can't even lie to you niggas. The hand-man's on me like you was working at a job and it's ready to fire you niggas. A couple of bands, what should I do with my hands? I'm Ricky Bobby on you niggas. Whole life is kamikaze on you niggas. Play it like Tamagotchi on you niggas, yeah. I can't even lie when I give it up, fly when I give it up, make a nigga die when I give it up. You and I lie when I give it up, lie when I give it up. I sing it to a lie when I give it up. You ain't gotta wonder, I be doing it the coldest. Floating on you niggas like the middle of the ocean. Devotion, see me repost it, refocus, no delete coaching. Provoke 'em, easy we smoke 'em. He open, see we be potent. We coasted, no DG loafers, we soaking. Drip on 'em, no joking. Make a plan when the cash is out. Big face when I cash it out. Every last amount, niggas need to cut the capping out. I don't let them really blacking out. It's like nigga. I've been this way since I was a baby. I'm getting this legacy, nobody ever could play me. A surfboard, a tsunami with it and I'm waving. Just picture me floating on speedboat when in Mercedes.
Joven Urbana America. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. No, no. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. No, no. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. It's too late. Yeah, I had to rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. so for real in that candy rain, and I can't obtain all the love I need, but he covered me. I can't stand the pain, and I ran the lane, and I followed dreams, but you swallowed me, and your family drained my life. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. No, no. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. No, no. Rearrange my feelings, I ain't coming back. Yeah, I had to rearrange my feelings, I ain't going back. Matter of fact, feeling I ain't showing that. Just know that there's only one way out there, like a cul-de-sac. Yeah, I'm in the matter of my feelings, I'm popping a pill and I'm willing to notice that I'm hurt. And your life really groundbreaking my earth. But the Holy Spirit that's inside of me is my church. You cannot appreciate my path, I will not deviate. I visualize and I see no faith. Understand that I can't explain it, I'm so for real in that candy rain, and I can't obtain all the love I need, but he covered me. I can't stand the pain, and I ran the lane, and I followed dreams, but you swallowed me, and your feeling draining my life.